Hari, as rightly said by everyone, including Balaji Maharaj, pointed out by Pradeep ji, both these shlok have been commented immensely by Gurudev. It is extensive as well as intensive. The offering is so delicious that even the presentation is likely to carry us away. The way language English has been used by Gurudev in these two explanations, it completely defies the normal heights that one can achieve in literary expression, and yet not leave at any moment the essence of the meaning of the shloka. Yogeshwara Krishna is telling Arjuna, Tena Purvabhyasena Eva. For us, this part of the shlok is for us. Tena, by that, Tena, Trutiya, as Pradiji pointed out, Purva Abhyasena Eva. Insistence of that Eva as Avyaya is by nothing else but by Purva Abhyasa only. What is the importance of that for us? In one little swipe of three words, Yogeshwara has told the entire world that stop all these stupid discussions amongst you regarding what is the use of going to temple. What is the point in saying Ram, Ram, Ram when you are not at all into it? What is the point in doing satsang? Because how many satsangs did nothing happen to you so far? You are same as I see you. You're still angry. You're still that. Do not pay heed to any of the unsolicited advice given by those who call themselves scientifically educated. Our 100% Shraddha on the saintly people and the Yogeshwara Krishna clearly tells us through the mouth of Bhagavad Gita that Tena Purva Abhyasena Eva. I have to have uttered the word Ram. Then only I will feel like uttering the word Ram. It applies to both the Shreyas and the Prayas. In a very luminous family, we find a debaucherous son being born. In actual, it is a fact, as I know, it happened at one place that Prakanda Veda Pandit's daughter ran away, eloped with some debaucherous guy. Everybody was surprised. How can a Panditji's daughter do that? Such a susamskari. Preet Purani Karanere Chuga Chuga Kankad Khai. Kabir Maharaj says it is actually a house. He is supposed to eat only the moti pearl. But Preeta Purani Karane, because of the old past love, Chuga Chuga Kankar Khai. He is eating all the gravel, the pebbles. Similarly, this clearly also gives us a barometer to test ourselves what kind of tendencies I am born with. Now, we need to understand the difference between impression, samskara, tendency, pravrutti, and shila, character. One anubhava leads to one samskara. I saw jalebi. First time in life, there is an anubhava of seeing and eating jalebi. Samskar is born. Jalebi is delicious. It's such a nice thing. So now there is a samskar which is there in the attic called memory. One file is created called impression, samskar. These samskaras, if repeated again and again, now when with the file which is used again and again does not gather dust or doesn't get destroyed. So if this samskara is repeated again and again, that next weekend again I will have jalebi. So there is a repetition of another samskar. Samskar after samskar after samskar leads to what Gurudev calls grooving of the desire. When samskar gets crystallized or ossified, it is called vasana. Oft repeated samskara to the extent of becoming a stabilized form, sthiti, is called vasana. A normal samskara is like a wound which is healing. A repetitive wound happening at that place leads to formation of scar tissue, vasana. That vasana is collected into karmashaya. Now we are talking of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. From the karmashaya, the vast ocean of vasanas, certain number of vasanas are taken out along with the appropriate body. That is why vasana and deha samskar go together. When the male dog is born, he is not taught by his parents to raise the leg while urinating. He does it automatically. When the turtle is born, he is not taught to swim. He swims automatically. Even after being hatched on the shore, it will crawl towards the water. Purva samskara vasana. So vasana have an ability of getting ignited, and they get ignited like a very explosive material. That is called vasana uddipana. A person was continuously murdering the people who are walking, we were journeying for the pilgrimage, Ratnakar. One fine day, the old vasana of doing spiritual exercise springs forth and Valmiki is born. Now, Gurudeva wanted to comb his hairs very fashionably by putting a lot of coconut oil, to the extent that his father told him that you will become bald the way you are playing with your hair. The vasana of past birth, little bit was remaining. Gurudev exhausted it in young age. If we read the book written by Gurudeva about his pilgrimage in Himalaya, the book ends abruptly. And in the preface of the book, Gurudev has written that the Swami who undertook this Himalayan pilgrimage stopped writing because either the material called pencil and paper got exhausted, or his vasana of writing something as a journalist got exhausted. The second sentence is very important. So Purva Abhyasa, now this word Abhyasa is important. One impression, one samskar will not make any change in you. It is the repetitive samskara that is important. That is why there is a saying that there is no harm if the old woman has died, but by this death, Yama is getting accustomed to take people away. This getting accustomed to the samskara is a problem. First time when the drinks are taken in young age, generally everybody swears, oh, beer, it is so bitter. How can you drink like such a bitter thing? It is not at all taste. First impression. But then he goes again with the friends, has it, again with the friends, and then he becomes addicted to the beer or the alcohol. A repetitive samskara. Now that is because of tena purva abhyasena eva is important for us, because first thing I can check myself in my own barometer, what impressions, what tendencies I have. I have a tendency towards women. Sir, there is a lot of womanizing you have done in the past. I have a tendency to help everyone. Sir, you have helped everybody in the past. I understand Bhagavad Gita easily. You have read Bhagavad Gita earlier in the past. I don't find difficulty with Sanskrit or Upanishad. I have studied Sanskrit and Upanishad previously. We have a stupid habit of calling people who understand Upanishad as, oh, they are very intelligent. I am not that much. I can't understand. It is very complicated. It is not complicated. He has been studying earlier. He went to the school much before you. That is why he is little ahead of you. There's nothing ahead, nothing behind. Tena purva abhyasen eva riyate. As Pradipjit said, carried away. Then why Gurudev has given the meaning as is born? Is born because it is called Lakshanartha. You have to take Jad Ajad Lakshana. What it means is Pranasya Riyate. Pranam Riyate Yasya Saha. That which takes away the prana, carries away the prana, means mrityu. And that which is dead has to be born again. With that Lakshanartha, he has used the word in that context, but carried away is also right. So he gets carried away, but not just like carried away like, the wind is blowing something. No, by force, avashaha. You cannot. Swami Vivekananda told Ramakrishna Paramahamsa that I will never indulge into the business of teaching to the world. I just want to go into the cave and just meditate. Ramakrishna said, Narendra, you will have to teach the world. He said, nothing doing, I will not. And then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, your bones will do it. Forget about you not saying. Arjuna said, I will not fight. Lord, I don't want to fight. No, don't. Yogeshwara said, in Gnaneshwar Maharaj has given that statement, Tuja swabhava zunjavil. Your nature, Arjuna, will make you fight. What do you say? You will not. Your tendency, you are a Kshatriya. At the same time, while fighting the war, your original inclination for jnana will come out, and I have to tell you the Bhagavad Gita. Right in the midst of the war, your tendency came out, impulse to know the world, to know the Lord. And the Lord has to oblige. Midst of warfare going on, the Lord had to start what is to be done, what is not to be done. The whole Bhagavad Gita came out. Shivaji Maharaj conquered the territory of Kalyan, which is near Thana. And there was the Sardar of that place. He was defeated. And his daughter-in-law was the most beautiful lady during those days. The entire area knew as a most beautiful lady. So naturally, the conquered king being Shivaji, this lady was offered, which was the pratha of that particular time, because vanquished has to give everything to the conqueror. So she was brought in front of Shivaji Maharaj and said, Shivaji Maharaj, such a beautiful daughter-in-law of this defeated man, you can have it as your wife or whatever you want it. And Shivaji Maharaj said, ah, what a beauty. Had she been my mother, I would have been also equally beautiful. So what he saw in her, a mother. Why? Impulse of the past. Because he was inveritable, he was a reincarnation of Shiva himself. I am not saying it, Vivekananda said it about Shivaji. Because he had inclination of that kind, even that lady appeared to be a mother. So, avasho hi api, avasha. Don't try to blame in our life anybody who is a drunkard. He drinks, he has no control. And sir, it is not a question of control. He is being impelled to do it. Have sympathetic karuna for such people. Don't try to say that I am better than him. No, you are not better. You have also tendencies. Have always compassionate attitude. That is why even while crucifying, Lord Jesus said, Lord, pardon them. They do not know what they are doing. They do not know because they have a habit of not knowing what they are doing. Ajnana. Jidnyasuhi api yogasya Shabda Brahmati. Now the question is, Shabda Brahma Ativartate. Langhate. Ativartate. Every word in Sanskrit has a very important connotation. Atyeti, it is to eat up. Atyeti. Atyanta is to eat up to the end. That means finish. Atyanta. Ativartate, the Vartamana, the present state condition is eaten up. The correct translation for that, Gurudev used the word for our understanding goes beyond, but it means transcend. Now comes the question, Jidnyasu, who wishes to know. Artharthi, na. Father died, suddenly I remembered God. No. दुख में सुमिरन सब करे, सुख में करे न कोई, सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. When everything is all right, there is no need to remember God or any help. That time if we remember is called Jidnyasu. Such a Jidnyasu, Shabda Brahma Ativartate, he goes beyond Shabda Brahma. First thing to understand, there are two aspects here of philosophy, and one of them is a tussle between Shankaracharya and Madhusudan Saraswati. In Shankaracharya's commentary, he has given that the past samskara, yoga bhyasa samskarat balvattaram adharmadi lakshanam yoga bhyasa janitena samskarena riyate adharmaha chet balvattaraha. In case the sins are stronger, bad tendencies are stronger, adharmaha chet balvattaraha krutaha tena yogajaha api samskaraha abhibhuyate. If the desire for worldly things is strong, it presses the desire for the knowledge. And if the desire for knowledge is strong, it presses the desire for the worldly things. That is what Shankaracharya takes a stand. Madhusudan Saraswati Maharaj has taken a little subtle different stand on this. He says the pressure of vasanas for realization of God is stronger than the pressure of vasanas for the vyavaharik thing. So material vasanas are weaker compared to spiritual or godly vasanas. Now he is trying to give qualitative importance to godly vasana. Shankaracharya says both of them are same, depends upon whose pressure is high or low. However, Madhusudan Saraswati, it's a very subtle point. Why he says so? He says helping others, being good to others, never expecting anything as a fruit of action, all these are in line with the ultimate reality or Brahman. That's why such desires have a powerful vasana. It has a more power than the vasana of material possession or worldly enjoyment. This is one difference it is there. Second important concept, by just one word, Shabda Brahma. Moment any adjective is put to the word Brahma, we are talking of Apara Brahma, Saguna Brahma. Now, Shabda Brahma, that which never manifested, which never intended to be manifested, which has no desire to be manifested, that which is Ekameva Dvitiya, that which is Shuddham Anantam Jnanam, when it appears to have become Apara Brahma, appears to have become, we are talking of Vivarta here, appears to have become, then the entry of that highest one into the lower Apara happens first through what is called as Sankalpana, ideation. Ideation leads to action or Rupa, Nama Rupa. First Nama Rupa or ideation manifesting itself is nothing else but Omkara. Omkara is the boundary between that which is completely unfathomable and that which is always ascertainable. Vyakta, avyakta. If we have to use Kabir Maharaj's word, had had jaye har koi, anhad jaye na koi. Saguna Brahma, everybody goes. Nirguna, nobody goes. Had had jaye, limited, everybody. Had had jaye har koi, anhad jaye na koi. Had anhad ke beech mein raha kabira soy. If you want to cross atyeti, ati vartate, then you have to cross the body of Kabira, means the knowledge of Kabira, the footprints of the seers, as the Gurudev calls it. So Shabda Brahma being the first visible, first demonstrable manifestation of Nirguna Brahma into Sarguna Brahma, whose one leg is in Nirguna, one leg is in Saguna. That is why everything since has emanated from there, Omkara transcends everything that is there, yet is a part of everything that is there as manifested or Vyakta. Now the yogi incidentally goes beyond the Brahma. Meaning what? Goes beyond Avyakta. Yoyam Sambhutam Rataha, Ishavasya Upanishad. Videha Deva, the concept in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, is also transcended. Prakruti Laya is also transcended. So from Saguna to Nirguna, when the yogi is going, he is able to transcend it because Shabda Brahma is normally here referred as Vedic rituals, which is nothing else but the process of purification of Chitta. So Purva Mimamsa, or the ritualism of Veda, is for Papanashanam. But Papanashanam alone will not give you Bandhanashanam. Uttara Mimamsa is for Bandhanashanam. Purva Mimamsa or the Vedic rituals are for graduation. Uttar Mimamsa is post-graduation. That is why Purva Mimamsa and Uttar Mimamsa can be joined serially but cannot run parallelly. Which in other words means karma and jnana, there cannot be samuchaya. There can be krama samuchaya, but not sama samuchaya. That is what is to be indicated here by Shankaracharya Maharaj, which in one word, Bhagavad Gita Mata says, Shabda Brahma Ati Vartate. Gurudev puts it in his own words. The cultural growth of a given mind. Cultural growth, he doesn't say spiritual growth. Cultural growth of a given mind and intellect is Chitta Shuddhi, Papanashanam. And the spiritual meditation, Dhyana. All actions that are done come under karma. And that is the reason why Gurudeva says, each one of us has an instinctive bent of mind, which leads to character formation. Vivekananda always used to say, formulate strong character, means make a good impression, get an experience of chanting maybe one time the Lord's name, keep repeating so that you repeat the sanskar, convert that into a japa so that it becomes a vasana, because of which your Chitta Shuddhi will always propel you to do, not to do wrong things, because you have been doing righteous things. And how do you do that? Gurudeva says, own willful actions performed and deliberate motives entertained. So, deliberate motives is vichara, willful actions is actions into the world. So, karya as well as vichara, both, if they are in the right bend of mind, you will reach faster. All the wealth of the world commanded, unquestioned might and power gained, love or respect given cannot persuade him away from the divine path. The classical example is of prince of immense wealth and power, Siddhartha Gautam Buddha, who had not seen sorrow all his life till he comes across only first encounter with the life, with the sorrow. An old person and a death, enough to give impetus to the impulse of renunciation, and the prince walks out of the palace right away. Gurudeva says, Lord wants to glorify the path of meditation more than the path of action and worship. This itself means jnana karma samuchaya. Krama samuchaya, not sama samuchaya. In the second shloka, Prayatnat yatamanaha tu yogi samshuddha kilbishaya. Prayatnat, assiduity. Assiduously means not only effort. Prayatna is not effort. Assiduous effort. Careful effort is assiduousness. Prayatnat yatamanaha. Yata means constantly striving. Yatamanaha is applying himself. Again realizing not perfectly applied. Again applying. Again realizing till the perfection is achieved. Aneka janma samsiddhis tataha yati param gatim. The most controversial part here is of the many births. Gurudev has directly criticized post-Puranic era and Chaitanya age. That is because in Gaudiya Sampradaya, which follows Gauranga or the Chaitanya Prabhu Maharaj, some of the philosophers of that Bhakti school, they say that unless you are able to say Krishna Krishna Rama Rama, which you can do only in human life, which you have done now, that means now onwards you will require multiple births. Gurudeva says, no, sir. One, in his previous life, he must have said that, which you are ignoring completely. One. Two, you say that you will keep saying because you just started doing it. How do you know you just started it? You might be doing it for a longer time. Three, the past things done, tendencies, when they manifest and you feel like saying Rama Rama, the Gaudiya Sampradaya or a Bhakti Sampradaya calls it call of God. Why did you feel like saying Rama Rama? It is call of the God. Advaita Siddhanta says no. It is your own effort that is making you call again Bhagavan Shri Ram. See the difference between the two. One is will of the God, so you said Ram. Another is no, God has nothing to do with it. It is entirely your creation. You said Ram, so you are now saying Ram. You said Sham, so you are now saying Sham. That is the difference. That is why Gurudev condemns the Pandit who says that it has happened right now and now it will take multiple births. He says there is nothing like multiple births. If the tendency is strong, you can do it here and now. And why wouldn't he say so when he himself has done it? Who else has a moral authority to say that it can be done in the same birth except Gurudeva? But he puts a precondition. To one who has that particular paragraph, which is eulogized by everybody and should be rightfully so, proper temperament to seek life, Chitta Shuddhi, anxiety to realize, Mumukshatva, vigilance to understand the hollowness, Viveka, daring to follow the footprints of the seers, Shraddha, appetite for infinite peace, Mumukshatva, tranquility and courage to leave the moral and ethical values, Titiksha, heroism to barter one's all, Vairagya. All this, if it is done, then Gurudeva says you get peaceful peace. Jnaneshwar Maharaj used the word Shanti Chishpe Shanti. Shanti means where the peace goes to search for the peace. The peace itself goes to search for the peace. That place, peaceful peace. And then he says, thrilled atmosphere of vibrant silence. Gurudeva uses word so carefully, not silence, vibrant because it is not Shunyavad of Buddhism. It is not complete negativity that is silent. There is in that complete silence, in that complete absence of everything, there is presence of something. Vibrancy. the Ladini Shakti of Brahman, the bliss that is existing as the nature of that particular state. That means there is a positive connotation in the absence of everything. It is not a negative connotation like a Shunya Vada of the Mahayana Buddhism. That is why in both the places, Gurudeva has been very, very particular in saying that do not worry about what has happened in the past. First, cross-check yourself. Do you feel like reading scriptures? I do. That means you have read it earlier. Now what you do? You continue with the sanskar again and again. Then what will happen in the next birth? Right at the age of 10, 11, you will start reading Bhagavad Gita. This birth, what happened? Somewhere around 30, 40, Pradeepji told me that, why don't you attend satsanga? Then the Bhagavad Gita came in my life. Impulse makes you. Kabir comes into the life. We unannounced. Why? It was done in the past. So it has to come. Some people suddenly feel that, I'm interested in bhakti. Jnana is somehow dry for me. It is because you have been doing bhakti earlier. Some people are so much into philosophy, Sanskrit, the drier aspect of so-called drier aspect of Advaita Vedanta, that appeals them. Why? You've been doing it earlier. Depending upon what you have done earlier. So one message that is clear here to everybody is keep doing the right thing. That will take us to the right path. Hari Om.